Hey friends, did you know that in order to be a successful entrepreneur, your business needs to create opportunities for more sales in more places, repeatable systems that save you time and money, and to gain visibility that creates awareness where your customers are actually buying?
Well, the doors to Multi-Stream Machine are open. Multi-Stream Machine is the only implementation program of its kind that shows you exactly how to get onto multiple revenue generating platforms and teaches you how to grow a sustainable product business with effective systems, more visibility, and more sales. Multi-Stream Machine focuses on action and implementation, not just learning.
This course shows you exactly what to do without the guesswork and without the heavy lifting of figuring it all out on your own. By the end of this program, you will have prepared your business systems to grow across multiple platforms. You will have learned how to pull your customers towards you to buy and engage. You will have created opportunities to sell to your customers where they are. You will have built customer loyalty and purchases through email, social platforms, and in person, and you'll have optimized the platforms you're currently selling on.
Head on over to www.multistreammachine.com and sign up. Let's build your product-based business together. Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we help product-based businesses grow their sales and improve their strategies.
Hey everyone, I want to introduce you to my co-host and biz bestie, Minna an Amazon guru that has built a multi-six-figure product-based business.
And introducing the other half of the Product Boss, Jacqueline Snyder. She has helped launch and grow over 500 fashion apparel and accessory brands, even one of her own.
And together, we share our inventory of secret weapons that will help you dig deep and do the work it takes.
Are you ready? Let's build together.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Product Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Jacqueline Snyder, with my best-selling co-host, Minna. Hey, Minna.
Hey, Jacqueline.
You're like, that didn't even make sense.
I was like, yeah, I like it though. I mean, it sounds fantastic.
You are my bestseller. No, I mean, you're a great example of leaning in and going deep and not wide and building a really profitable business off of, staying focused. And I think one of the things I love about you that I've learned about from you is just like, there's always this method and there's like a framework, and you really break big things down and you simplify them and put them into step by steps. And it's just so helpful for the way that my brain works as a creative. And I think it's really helpful for our audience as well.
Yeah, I think, it's nice to shortcut things for anybody who has a lot of things that are on their plate. So like as a mom, a business owner, business partner, I think that everybody loves a good hack. They love a good shortcut, and they love times when they can save either time or money, right? In all the things that they're trying to do. And when people are thinking about it, sometimes their go-to is to save money, but their go-to should actually be to save time, because that's the thing that they could never get back.
Absolutely.
Is the time, right?
Yeah.
Whereas they can make as much money as they need to.
Right. And I think that's even the way that our relationship started was as a product-based business owner. I reached out to you. You weren't a coach at that point, but I reached out to you to fast track me or to save me time in figuring it out on my own when I had this product that I wanted to sell through and liquidate. And I found you and I reached out to you and I said, hey, could you teach me quickly about Amazon and what to, now remember friends, this is like 5 years ago, so you cannot ask her now, but
DMs.
But I was like, I want to do this. And instead of me researching it and Googling it and spending my time, which you said I can't get back, I reached out to you and we ended up forming a relationship off of that information that you broke it down. Vice versa. I'm a coach for startup fashion brands and apparel brands, right? And I've done this since 2004. So I have so much more data. I've always say I've launched like 1,000 more brands than my clients. And I also can kind of fast track and foresee like holes or roadblocks and things like that, and then fast track some of, but they are, like you said, they're paying for that information, but it's saving them time and figuring it out on their own.
Yeah, for sure. Jacqueline and we do monthly trainings for our masterminders, and we're working through this one that's coming up, and it's all about up leveling your skills as like a CEO, boss of your business, whatever you want to call yourself. Creative visionary is actually how I phrased it in the actual training. And I was saying that it's actually this balance between overwhelm and inspiration when you're the boss, right? You need to be inspired, but you're often overwhelmed. And I will tell you, everybody's overwhelmed from startup all the way to multiple seven figures. It's just a different variation of what that overwhelm is. So for each one of us, we have to think about, is it worth my time or is it worth my money? And kind of weighing that. And so that's what this is all about, because in any version of that, as you're growing your business, oftentimes we become our own bottlenecks. And those are actually the easiest ways to alleviate the struggle. Is you know that you're the bottleneck, and what can I do to make myself not the bottleneck? It's a really simple, thing to do. Whereas if it's like, oh, I'm the bottleneck in raising my children, you can't just outsource for that. You still have to raise your children usually, so in
And they're
business, it's
going to
quite
still
easy.
grow with or without you. They're still going to
Right.
get older.
Right.
But yeah. And so we want to really talk to you today about when to invest in your business for growth and what to invest in, because so often I think it's that like time versus money, you're the bottleneck. You can't, you like
I
Mina
think
said,
it's more so they don't want to invest.
right.
Like,
Because you're like,
uh-huh.
I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing
Yeah.
this. Like, I don't want to part with the money I am making. If I do that, then I'm going to run out of money, right? Like scarcity ideas come up or thoughts come up. But the idea here is like, if you're the bottleneck, if you yourself only have, is it 168 hours in a month, right?
No, in a week. In a
How
week.
many?
No, I'm pretty
Really?
sure it's a week.
I know
No,
I'm
no.
very good at math.
24
Can't you
times
tell?
7. Let me grab my calculator as well. Yeah.
24 hours.
Times 7. Yeah, 168. So
168
168
hours.
hours we've done a whole podcast episode about this where we all
Welcome
have
to our brains.
Yeah. So it's 168 hours we all have in the week. So what can you do to buy back your time?
Right. And so you get a bunch of people want your products. You get a bunch of wholesale inquiries. You take off on a certain platform and all this product needs to be made to meet that demand. But if you only have 168 hours and you do have to sleep in that time, you do have to pay attention to your family members or your furry pet animals or anything, right? Or yourself, I guess. Where are you going to find that time? And so like Mina said, I think a lot of times it's like, well, I don't want to part with my hard-earned cash to buy back my time, but you do need to start to reinvest into your business for growth. And it's not necessarily into raw goods, and it's not necessarily into more space. While those are things that you need, it's not the first thing sometimes that you're going to do to buy back your time.
Yeah. And I think that we realize so fully that when we are getting all those sales, like what Jacqueline said, or if we're not getting the sales, you're overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed in a way that's like, oh, how can I get back my time or my money? And you realize that it has to be some sort of investment, right? Most times what happens is people are just like, I'll just keep going as is, like what Jacqueline said. It's like, I'll just keep going as is because I've always done it this way. And I don't have the time to invest in these different things. So we're going to go over some ideas of how you can invest in various parts of your business because it's critical in your growth. Otherwise, you'll always be the bottleneck. Otherwise, you'll always feel overwhelmed in a way that you cannot catch up. So we want to kind of lift the lid open for you for what you can invest in your business that would make the most impact.
So let's start with you, the business owner. You can invest in yourself, the business owner. So how do you do that? Well, that's when you are potentially going to invest into a course. Why would you invest into a course? Well, that's because you need to fast track your information to know more about something for the growth of your business. So we don't all know everything, right? And yes, we could search Google University and we can try and watch YouTube, but sometimes that leads to overwhelm as well, right? There's no definitive answer. There's no result at the end. It's kind of still leaving it up to you to do it. So if you invest in a course or a framework or a program that says, here, this is where you start, let's help you figure this out and let's take you through these steps to get you where you need to be, that is fast tracking, right? That is buying back your time. You're investing in the course, but you're buying back your time to learn something quickly and to not hit those like obstacles that might have happened had you done it on your own.
Yeah, this is pretty much self-development and education of you as a business owner, right? And a lot of times people are able to do this when it comes to their education. I think this is a little bit why I believe in courses a lot too, is because I've always believed in paying more for education. And so when I was taking my night classes for my MBA, those were private college top dollar, courses that were very expensive. So when I think about courses, I've invested in Amazon courses that I took early on when I was creating low labels, and all the way from $3,500 to $5,000, right? So those for me were a really big investment, but it really propelled me forward in a way. And I think that that's what people don't realize, is that the self development really happens with what fits you. Sometimes people go to trade school, sometimes people go to university, sometimes people go to through courses, or they go through programs like what Jacqueline's saying, or they go through, different things. And I will tell you, the base level of that is Google University. Base level of that is, going to the public library, because you will there are places of information, but they're not in a way that you can learn from them in a step-by-step format of how can I really do this.
Yeah, there's not a specific path forward, a direct path that
Hmm.
like, if you're thinking I want to start selling wholesale, how do I
Yeah.
start selling wholesale? You might start asking people. You might Google it. You're going to find information. You're going to find different information. So if you're like, oh, I just want to learn how to get scrappy, start selling wholesale, start doing it quickly, then you find a course for that, right? And you educate. And a lot of times our bigger businesses that invest into courses or invest into like our course, for example, like multi-stream machine, sometimes the bigger companies with teams will actually invest into courses for their team members to take.
Hmm.
So then, the big CEO of the eight-figure business doesn't necessarily need to know how to do XYZ, but they have a point person on their team that they'll say like, okay, I'm going to sign this person up and they'll learn it and then they can implement it. We do it with our team as well.
Yeah, we're skill building.
Mhm. Hey, friends, did you know that in order to be a successful entrepreneur, your business needs to create opportunities for more sales in more places, repeatable systems that save you time and money, and to gain visibility that creates awareness where your customers are actually buying?
Well, the doors to Multi-Stream Machine are open. Multi-Stream Machine is the only implementation program of its kind that shows you exactly how to get onto multiple revenue generating platforms and teaches you how to grow a sustainable product business with effective systems, more visibility, and more sales. Multi-Stream Machine focuses on action and implementation, not just learning.
This course shows you exactly what to do without the guesswork and without the heavy lifting of figuring it all out on your own. By the end of this program, you will have prepared your business systems to grow across multiple platforms. You will have learned how to pull your customers towards you to buy and engage. You will have created opportunities to sell to your customers where they are. You will have built customer loyalty and purchases through email, social platforms, and in person, and you'll have optimized the platforms you're currently selling on.
Head on over to www.multistreammachine.com and sign up. Let's build your product based business together.
So that's the first part, right? So that's investing into you as the business owner or investing into your team members of education. We wouldn't go to a doctor that didn't go to med school, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have them open up your body and operate on you if they have not been trained as a surgeon. So we pay for a great doctor because they have paid for their education, and that is one of the
Yeah.
very first things.
Yeah. But it's not like people will stop buying from you because you're not educating yourself as a business owner. It's just you get better at what you're doing, you
Right.
know?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
you can be competitive in your
Yeah.
education, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
get educated on certain things and when you sign up for courses, you are now competitive. You've learned a little bit more to learn how to build your email list or to show up
Yeah.
online or to get on a new platform and quicker. You can do
Yeah.
this all on your own. It's just going to take you longer and you're going to hit more roadblocks.
Yeah.
So the
Next one
second thing,
is, which one were you going to say?
I was going to say people.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say something else, but I
Okay.
do think that we should go with people,
Okay.
because you said it best when you said that oftentimes when it's either we're educating ourselves or we're investing in ourselves or investing in people. in a business, it's our team. In real life, it's usually our children. We have them go to clarinet lessons or, soccer lessons or whatever, our children. But for our team, in order to grow, it is literally based off the capacity of your team and what they can do for you that will save you a couple hours here and there.
So when you're thinking about when to invest in your business for growth and what to invest in, first, you want to educate yourself as a business owner. A very quick way to doing that is in a course. The second thing you may decide to do, because once you start to get profitable, once you break even, once you start to see your business is working well for you and you're running out of time, you can no longer fulfill, you're going to have to invest in people. You're going to have to hire, even sometimes before you're even paying yourself, or, maybe you're paying yourself a little, but it's not a living wage. You're going to have to hire somebody. We often say one of those first people that you hire is either going to be someone in fulfillment or someone in production for product-based businesses. Who's going to ship for you the busier you get, or who's going to help you scale your capacity of making your products. And that oftentimes will take another person to help. Ultimately, we're trying to duplicate you. And what's the most effective way to duplicate you? It's in hiring a person.
Yeah, for sure. So when you're trying to figure out what your capacity is, literally you're just tracking what you've done. Let's pretend you track, I was going to say for a whole week, but let's just track it for a day. In a normal day, how many units of blah, blah, blah do you get out in a day? Then you break it up by the number of hours you've worked. And that's the capacity that, could you hire somebody for this particular pay rate and that they would fill in for those 2 hours, get to that capacity, and it's duplicating yourself. Because now your capacity has doubled if you are also doing that as well. And it just buys you back time. Let's say it doesn't double it, but you still get 2 hours back, let's say, and you're doing it to work on something else.
Yeah, because if I told you right now, I'm going to give you 2 more hours in your day to do all the things either that on your list, to lay down on a bed, to walk outside.
This sounds dreamy.
To eat. I don't know. If I said that you had 2 more hours in your day to do X, because I'm sure a lot of you are like,
make
there's
big
not
connections.
Yeah, you're like, I want to do this, but I don't have time to do this. So if I gave you back 2 hours because you've hired someone to do something for you for 2 hours, what would you do with that time? So I want you to consider that. And that's the team part. We work on that a lot. This conversation comes up a lot within our masterminds, because at that point, a lot of them are multi-stream machine students. They have gone into the masterminds. They're starting to see their business has momentum. And then a lot of them, it's like that first hire or their next hire. And who is that for them? And how are they going? What's the result that person is going to bring to the table that's going to allow that business to grow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the third thing that you would invest in for your business for growth would be someone who's either like a coach, an expert, something that's either done with you or done for you. So this is at a point, it's not at a point in business. It is at a point when you have the money to invest in it. So I am a very expensive business coach. If you were to hire me through my other business, I am an expensive investment into your business. But the people who do hire me,
VIP clients, right?
Yeah, I'm like one-on-one with them. This is my other business for fashion. I'm one-on-one with them. I treat their businesses very much like my own. I'm always thinking about their businesses. And so they have invested without ever making money, right? It's not like, oh, my business has to hit a point to invest in a coach. They decided to do that initially so that they could fast track their growth. And then I give them shortcuts and I offer them templates and I make connections for them. So I'm a coach that does it with them. There's also coaches that some of our businesses have worked with that do things for them, right? Like you may hire a fractional CFO. You might hire someone to come in and take over a certain part of your business. And then there's also coaches that are really specific. Like Minna and I have both hired coaches in different things where we want to learn something and we don't want to take the course, but we actually are willing to pay top dollar for a coach to come in, teach us something super specific. We're again investing in ourselves as the business owners and education, and then we're able to implement it much faster.
Yeah, a coach is great because when you think about like people who are in the health industry and they pay a personal trainer to help them because it does two things. There's accountability, but there's direction and guidance. There's actual coaching. They tell you what to do. They tell you when to do it. They tell you how to do it. And then they keep you accountable. Now there's all types of variations. Jacqueline and I are product experts and we're coaches and we coach within our mastermind, but our mastermind is a hybrid where they really rely on each other too, because a lot of what we do is we develop you as the boss of your business. When you enter our mastermind, we are helping you become the boss of your business. Now that comes with coaching, but it also comes with connecting with your masterminders. It doesn't rely solely on coaching. So again, that's a variation of what a coach could look like. But it is really an investment, because when you think about what that does to you as a person and what that does to you as a business, coming off of being a better business owner, up leveling yourself. So it really is a coaching, picking the right coach, I think is really a preference. There's coaches for everybody that, you have to really like their style of coaching is what I think.
Yeah, if you resonate with them, if their mythology is aligned with yours, all of that. But I think the main part of this entire episode is that really you're investing in people, and you're investing in people and their education. So whether it's first investing in you as the, owner, the CEO, and thinking, what do I need to learn? And how do I learn that fast so that I can implement it and turn it over in my business, right? And that could happen in a course. Whether it's I cannot possibly keep up with my business and I need to hire a person, I need to hire actual human bodies to come in and help me. And in that part too, right? Then you actually reinvest into those people in education. Are you getting them a course to learn? And then there's that coach, that done with you, that done for you type person, whether that's an outsourcing or you're getting a coach or you're investing into a mastermind, and it's that continued education. But without that, you stay stuck. You hit a cap, you hit capacity, even your mindset gets limited. And so I think all of these ways, because we know there's other things you can invest in, but these are 3 things that we think are a way for you to grow and to consider at the stage of business that you're in. What do you need right now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for all of us, we don't know what we don't know. So we can either learn it ourselves or we can pay somebody to teach it to us, and that's the same with your team members don't know what they don't know. So you can either pay somebody to teach them, or they go through a course, or, whatever it is, or they do it themselves. And then there's probably like mistakes or things being happening.
But there's a learning curve, right? You're paying them to learn. Ultimately, you're paying people to learn on your dollar. You're also paying yourself to learn on your dollar. And so I think that's really important. So again, think through this. Think about, what do I need right now? We're here to help you in any way, whether it's as a multi-stream machine student. If you'd love to join one of our masterminds, we'll put those links in the show notes, or just the free education that you get right now through the podcast. But either way, we're here for you, and we cannot wait to see what you do with all of these amazing things that you're learning.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for being here and listening all the way through the Product Boss podcast. If you love our show and it has helped you in any way in your business, would you mind doing 2 things for us? Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode, and leave us a review. Reviews help other product entrepreneurs know that this is the place to be to grow their businesses and realize that they're not alone. And we know that you all know that a 5-star and honest review helps you sell more products to more people. So you know that your reviews help us reach more listeners around the world. Remember, what we give is what we receive, and we are all about helping each other in the Product Boss community. We are all in this together. We would be so appreciative of you if you could take the time right now to subscribe, leave a review, and even share this episode on social or someone you know, so we can impact more lives. And remember, subscribing means that you will get notified each time we release a new episode, so you never miss a thing. You have helped us grow and climb into the top 10 of all marketing podcasts, and together we can keep climbing. Thank you, friends. And remember, there is room at the top for all of us.